Tapper, and I'm here chatting with DJ Gary and his dear son Darius. Welcome, lovely to see you boys.
Lovely to see you too.
Excellent,
It's
excellent.
been a long time.
It's been a long time. And more so, Darius, let me talk to your dad first, because we go back a little bit of a way. Because I started out 99, and I think we made some connection
radio-wise,
mid noughties, I think, somewhere around there.
That was right.
So radio was where your passion was at. Tell me a little bit about that start for you.
Yeah, basically, in fact, I actually started up in Birmingham at WM, helping out on the Frank Stewart.
Never.
Yeah.
Late Frank Stewart,
yeah,
my goodness, who I then took over as such, 2003.
Yeah. And so that's how it all started for me. So doing that, and then it increased. Started working for the BBC and did some stuff in Manchester and in Derby, and then eventually BBC Radio Oxford, and then started doing all the DJ stuff after that.
So radio's a great passion. You obviously like that medium of communicating, and I suppose being at one in a box sounds a little bit strange, but you can kind of talk to yourself and then remember, I am talking
You're
to
talking to
others
yourself without people looking at you.
In that sense. So you did that on and off then for about 10, 15 years in radio and being within BBC. But then you've branched out, because DJing in a sense was always your first love. Your music
was always first love. And I had the opportunity to go out to Slovakia and to DJ, and I thought, okay, they want me to play it, and I played some stuff, and I actually fell in love with gospel house music.
Right.
The Jasper Street Company.
Yeah, oh my gosh, and Nesby when she was doing all of that.
Yeah,
my goodness.
And we actually met Anne Nesby as well, but that's another story.
Oh, yeah, you name dropping yourself.
And it just started off like that. Then I got another booking. Somebody saw what I did online and said, "Look, can you come and play at our event?" And I thought, well, okay. They paid for my flight and everything, and I ended up going to Slovakia 5 times in 1 year, and different festivals, and just like going.
So what was it you think that they grabbed their attention? Because it's not a country that I would first think of to say they like house music, not even gospel house music. So how did it come about? What do you reckon it is?
I think because I actually went over with a Birmingham band. You all may know them, Jules.
Yeah, of course, yes, yeah.
Because Peter Campbell is my brother-in-law.
Small world.
So,
wow, gosh.
I went along with them, and so I played 2 sets, and it was really enjoyable. And then, they asked me to come back, and Slovakia is not known for any black folks there at all.
That's why surprised.
So you wouldn't. So when you go over there, people will look at you and really strange, and they used to say, "Can I make a photo with you?" Oh, okay. And everywhere you used to walk, people used to take photographs and really used to want to get to know you.
So since, when was that? About 5 years, 6 years ago?
No, this is about over 10 years ago.
Oh, right, okay. Have you been back since in the kind of...
Yeah, I've been back once or twice.
Right, and how's the reception to you there?
Really good.
Brilliant.
One guy said to me, he said, "I didn't know you could worship God like this." Because it's a Catholic country. It's a Catholic country, and the young people just love music.
Yeah, just absorbing it, taking it and knocking it all up.
I said, "How do you worship God like this? I've never done this before." And he said, "You've opened my eyes that you can worship God and dance at the same time." I'm thinking, yeah, you can.
Yeah, because that is interesting then, in terms of the journey for you. You're, African Caribbean descent, British born.
Yeah.
And so I would say that your church background must have influenced some of your approach in terms of, I don't know if I should really do that, because I don't know if you're similar to many of us, were brought up where, or at least had an experience of black majority church where it was just play the instruments, but none of that worldly stuff must come into the being.
Well, I was known for breaking the rules.
Oh, I see.
So I broke the rules. I didn't do...
Backbenched you?
Man, I just, for me, it didn't feel comfortable. Well, I'm playing music and it's like, well, I want to get the move.
Yeah.
And when we read the Bible, and David danced and everything, and he danced and exposed himself, and everything said, okay, I'm not going to expose myself, but I'm going to dance like David.
Yes.
And for me, when I'm DJing, my first priority is to entertain the Father. Give God all the praise, all the glory, and whatever he uses me to do with that. And anybody else watching or listening it's just an extra bonus.
And again, I suppose the uniqueness of what you're doing, and I'll bring you, Darius, into this, is demonstrating the breadth of the kingdom and the breadth of what the kingdom can do and what God wants us to do with the gifts He's given us.
Yeah.
And we were, I suppose, and we still can be, excuse me, still quite narrow-minded in what we think praise and worship, giving God praise looks like. And if it's not under a roof with 4 walls and chairs or pews, you're not really praising God. And what I'm hearing you say is actually, no, let's embrace the fact that God has said, any gift I give you, if you believe and know it comes from me, give me the praise back with it. Yeah, and I think that's what you're doing.
And that's what we do. And not all the music I play is strictly gospel in it, but every track I choose is selected for a reason. And it attracts people. So I played a song when we was in Monaco yesterday. I don't know.
It's just such an international flyer. Flyers. And where was I? Was I in Spain, Monaco? Oh, I don't know. Switzerland. Yeah, sorry, I've just come back to Birmingham. But no, I
played a song, Lola's theme, I'm a Different Person. And that connected with so many people, because I remember this guy, he recently got saved, and that song was his song because he's a different person now. God is in his life and he's a different person. And that connected with so many people. And I played that and we saw people, crowds of people coming up, literally on the racetrack, holding their hands up and jumping up and down and everything, and waving and taking photographs and, wanting to get to know us. And so I said to Darius, I said, look, don't get caught up in they want to take photographs, want an autograph. I said, it's not us, it's God they see.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing, because like you could get caught up in it, say, oh, I'm a celebrity now. Forget all that, If they want to come to know us and want to be near us,
you'll be prepared to say it's because of God.
It's all because of God.
Yeah.
We'll sign autographs and everything and take photographs, but it's because of the Spirit of God in us. People are attracted to it, and they can't explain it. Oh, we like what you do.
Yeah.
And we had a message this morning said, oh, you are so wonderful. We want you back for the yacht show. We want you to come back here, and we enjoy it. I think
back into Monaco then.
Yes, back to Monaco.
Okay, I don't know why I keep mentioning Monaco, but I am Nikki Tapper. If you need somebody, right.
Well, we had many offers.
Yes, okay.
Many offers of carrying our bags.
Oh, I can imagine.
So we the opportunities that we get.
Brilliant.
It's we use this hashtag it's a God thing, and believe me, it's a God thing, because we wouldn't get to the Oscars or the Golden Globes without God being in it.
I need to come back to that. Let me bring in Darius. Darius, tell me a little bit about your journey, because this is the first time I'm meeting you. And it's a joy really to see a father and son choosing to work together in the way that you are, and celebrating your faith through what you're doing. So you're a dancer?
Yes, I'm a dancer. I also do quite a few other things. I'm also a YouTuber, a fashion blogger, and then I also day-to-day work in social media as well. So I keep myself pretty busy.
It looks like it. And I can see the fashion out there. I wouldn't think about this, and I'm sure people go, that's an interesting look with the rings. And what's inspired that individuality in you then?
I've always been this way. I've always been the kid in the class who's always been a little bit odd, a little bit out of the ordinary, and it's taken a long time to kind of get to a place where I've accepted that, but that's just how God made me, and I'm cool with that. So yeah.
And so the dancing's come about alongside all the other things.
Yeah.
Is the one that you use much more so now?
I use it in conjunction, so everything kind of sits together. Okay. So the fashion sits alongside the dance, because how I portray myself fits with how I dance, and how I dance fits with how I portray myself. And I've used that gift to get me into quite a load of places. So dancing has helped me to even get into places to do with fashion. So there have been people who have seen me dance and then have seen me again later on at London Fashion Week events, and then been like, hey, I've seen you dance here, and it's been oh, that's where I've met you before. So it's kind of weird how kind of things have come full circle.
Yeah.
So it's really amazing how God's enabled me to use my gifts to be able to just show people love, and to just approach people that I wouldn't typically approach. Like within fashion, I get to speak to loads of different kinds of people, and obviously initially the conversation will start about fashion, and then we'll just get talking about different things about life, and then somehow the conversation always ends up like, why are you such a positive person, or why are you this way? And I'm like, well, I live with God, and God's in my life, and I'm able to share that experience.
And that's interesting to hear, because I suppose again, and in light of what we see in the news, and I've found myself of late wanting to turn off a lot of television because it's very negative, or it just feels as though there is no hope at all in our world at present. And in light of what we're dealing with here in the UK with regard to Brexit, even more so, it feels as though, why would you? So it's interesting that people are actually still on a search, and they still seem to want to know where they can find peace and have hope. And I gather through what you're doing, in particular for you, Darius, as a young... How old are you now?
20.
Oh, Emily. Oh. Anyway, yes. Same here. Just a few years older. All right, thank you, Gary. But, you know, from that standpoint, I think it's encouraging to hear, because your generation is very much being told, yes, celebrate being an individual, but it's all about me. It's not about anything else. And if I get what I want, then I'm happy. But what I'm hearing is that you're saying, yes, I'm happy to get what I want, but I want to give praise to God for it, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have it. Yeah,
it's very true. Like, without God, I genuinely wouldn't be alive today. So it's like a lot of my life and my journey has been, I've had to have walked with God. There have been times when I have kind of tried to run away from God and be like, no, I want to, you know, be like a normal like young person and just like do what I want to do. But in doing that, I've realised that actually, no, I need God. Like, I genuinely need God to be able to live my life to the best of my ability. So.
Right, I mentioned that. It was good to hear. And like you said, you've just done this gig yesterday in Monaco, and you're dancing alongside the music. But your other hat is that you're now also producing the music. And well, you've probably been doing that for some time, but the reason why we're having the conversation is because you're producing one of Birmingham's finest singers, Dee Moore, and her new single, I Cling to You.
Yeah, it's just weird how it happened, because I did the track some time ago, and I just thought, I'll leave it. It sounds alright, but you know, I could just play it whenever I want to play it, and I think it's just leave it. And so I was talking to Dee online, and something just pricked me in my heart. I said, send the track to Dee, see what she thinks. Sent it to her. Within, I would say, 10 minutes, she sent back a recording. This is what I've recorded to this track. And I heard it, I'm thinking, really? This sounds good.
Right.
It sounds good. I think it didn't sound like my track at all. I think it sounded like somebody else did it. And she put some lyrics to it. And she said, "Oh, this is a worship song I've taken and put." And I said, "Really?" So and that's where it sort of all started.
Well, I know we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about that when we chat with Dee. But for now, it's been a joy to just hear what you're up to. You, like you said, where's the next trip? Where are we off to after this Monaco trip? Well, no, actually, from leaving here in Birmingham, where are we off to?
Well, we want to go and play at the Cannes Film Festival next year. Also at the Oscars and the Golden Globes next year as well.
Because you've already done that, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yes,
so
you dropped that just slightly earlier on.
Yeah, we made connections. For us, it's just making the right connections.
Yes.
And so the lady that we've been working with, her and Sylvester Stallone are good mates and everything, and we meet. we just like...
As in Rocky Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
And like
good friend.
we
Well.
met Anthony Anderson from Blackish, and some of the cast from Blackish as well. And we just meet the people, and they come up and we have a general conversation.
The Lord is really, truly working, opening doors that, you know, like you said, the ordinary mortal will be like, if only, and there you are.
Yeah, because it's a God thing.
It is a God thing. I'm loving that hashtag. But it's been a pleasure. Gary, Darius, thank you very much for your time. Wonderful.